Okay, here we go. Make sure my titties aren't hanging out. Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're doing something really fucking exciting. I've wanted to do this for a long time and you guys have been requesting me so much to do it. I'm super excited. We're going into part dos, or an updated palette collection video. So this is really exciting. Obviously my palette collection has changed because it's been about a year and obviously there's new releases. Maybe I decluttered some. Yeah, so let's get into this. So I keep all my palettes literally in this drawer, which is out of frame. But I keep them all in here. So I'm just gonna go in no particular order. I'm just gonna grab things out and show you. So let's get into it. Alright, so these first three palettes I'm going to show you are from Urban Decay. You guys saw this in my last one. It's the Urban Decay Naked palette. It's just the original. I haven't gotten a lot of use out of this as I thought I was going to. Sin is still one of my favorite highlighting shades and I love it. I definitely really want to do a Throwback Thursday makeup tutorial using this. Inspired by Jackie Ann because she's like literally my inspiration for everything. So yeah, maybe I'll do that sometime in the future. Next I have the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my last video, but this I got on the Sephora sale section for $33. I'm not sure if it's completely discontinued, but I know that you really can't find this anymore. And it's absolutely the most essential palette for when it comes to making a smoky eye. It's beautiful. You have a variety of matte, shimmer, and satin shades. And it's fucking lovely. Next I have the Urban Decay Naked 3. You guys may know I've wanted this for such a long time. I got it for Christmas from Nick because I literally badgered him for like a year and a half and I was like, I really want this. So I got it as a Christmas gift and I could not be happier because it is one of the most beautiful palettes. I know people talk about not liking this, but I actually really like it. The only shade that I'm not a huge fan of is Dust, but I feel that when you pair it with like a primer water or like a setting spray, it just looks so beautiful. It's definitely a shadow you have to work with, but it's still gorgeous. So I have this palette from Pure Cosmetics. It's the Nude collection. Yeah, this just fell out. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, so anyways, I'm not sure if this one is closer to the Naked 2, but regardless, this is just what I have. I still want to purchase the Naked 2. I just haven't gotten around to it, so I have this one. Next, I have my two babies. You guys know I love it. It's the Modern Renaissance palette. I love this palette. I've been trying to like stay away from it a little bit just because I want to experiment with some other colors. As you can tell, I've done a blue eye today. These are actually using some single Anastacio shadows. Mint. Honestly, Anastasia has the best eyeshadow formulation in my opinion. Now that we're talking about formulation, we got a palette that's really controversial coming up. The Anastasia Subculture palette. I actually, holy shit, it doesn't look like I've used this palette. I've used it a couple of times. I don't know if you can tell, but there's kind of a dent in Cube because I had a problem getting it out of the pan. That's totally okay, and I really like all these colors. I want to experiment with it a little bit more. Also from Anastasia, I have two glow kits. The first one is the Gleam Glow Kit, which is discontinued and you can't really get it anymore. These are absolutely beautiful. I try not to use these too much because since it is discontinued, I don't want to have to worry about going out and trying to find a new one if it's completely gone. The next glow kit is the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit. I wanted this for such a long time and I know it launched on the Anastasia website and I couldn't get it. I could, but like it would be so expensive for me to ship it to myself or get it shipped to me, so I just ordered it when it came to Sephora. This is kind of like a miss in my collection. I literally haven't used it since I got it. I think it's just because I've been doing more neutral looks. Today I could have used it, but you know, it's whatever. Next from e.l.f. I have these two palettes right here. I tried to use one of them today, but like it didn't work out. So this is the Mad for Matte palette. Everyone has talked about this. Kathleen Light says it's one of the best eyeshadow palettes for the drugstore, and I do agree. You have a bunch of nice transition colors, you have definer shades, and it just works all together, especially if you're looking for a neutral eyeshadow palette for every single day. This is definitely something that you should pick up. The other palette I have from e.l.f. is the Need It Nude palette, and I really like this. This is the one that I tried to use today. I actually did use this shimmery color right here on the end. I use it on my inner corner, my nose, and here for highlighting. I used a different highlighter for my cheekbones. I really like this, and this is definitely a really good palette for fall. I just wish that they added like a transition color or something. These colors are like shimmery, and the only kind of other colors besides the dark definer shades is this white and this light baby pink, which you really can't do anything with. But regardless, I really do like this palette and it's worth your money. Also from e.l.f. I have their contour palette. This is the only contour palette that I really have. I find that it does work for me whenever I do want to contour. I don't contour that often, so I don't really have to worry about it, but this is a nice one to have, especially it being really cheap. It's amazing. Then I have my two Lime Crime palettes. This is honestly like my second child. Aside from the Modern Renaissance palette, this is like a travel version of it. It's really beautiful, and I find that the shades are like fucking stunning. If you guys have followed up on beauty news lately, you know that Lime Crime is coming out with quads. I could be wrong. I think it has like 5 colors in it. They're beautiful and I really want to pick up all of them. I'm not crazy about the packaging, but I mean, it's Lime Crime. I also really like this as well. I don't get much use out of this as I do of this. I do like this palette though. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I cut my hair. My hair is usually pretty long, but I cut it today. Let me know how I should style it because I don't really know how to style short hair. So now I have some palettes from Tarte. So the first one I have is this Tartelette Tease palette. This is a really good value. It is kind of like, I paid 30 bucks for it, but I also got like a lip paint or something. I don't remember. But it is a really good palette, especially for traveling. You can create just like a dramatic and also like a really natural look. Also from Tarte, I recently did a tutorial with this palette and I love this palette. I've talked about it, saying it's really good for back to school. It's good for if you're on a budget, and it is. It's really good. It's the Tarte Beauty and Brains palette. It's super small, but it has some really big eyeshadow pans, as you can see here. I find that this is very similar to the Master Palette by Mario, which I'm going to talk about right now. In my last video, I got a lot of questions asking why I got rid of it because I mentioned that I returned it. I just didn't like it. It was very similar to palettes I already have, and now that I found this one, I don't see a reason, like I wouldn't have kept it. It's like, I love Anastasia, but I got it and I was like super underwhelmed. I thought it was going to be so much better. Like, it was good, it was really good, but the shadows were just really boring. That's why I returned it, for y'all asking. Another palette I have from Tarte is this one. This is the Blush Bazaar Amazonian Clay Blush Palette. I just got this in the mail today. I'm not even kidding. I ordered it a few days ago. It is beautiful. I love blush palettes, and when I saw this, I was like, fuck the blush book. I need this shit. I've always wanted a Tarte blush book, but I don't know. I can never get them. So I was like, shit, man. I'm gonna get this. It's 8 blushes and 2 highlighters. I used this highlighter and this one. It's called Whimsical and Worthy, and I use that to highlight my face today. I really like it. And I definitely, like, I know I'm going to get a lot of use of this. And honestly, in case you guys are, like, thinking about getting it, these are half the size of a regular Tarte blush, but they're double the size of the birthday gift you get from Sephora. Alright, now, moving on. So, also, as you guys may have seen, I did a tutorial with this palette as well. It's the Too Faced Just Peachy Matte Palette. I love this palette. It's definitely, it's up there with the Modern Renaissance and the Venus 1 palette. I love this. I love warm shades. I love anything with kind of like a red in it. That's kind of like my eyeshadows that I really enjoy wearing. This is great for fall. It's great for spring. It's literally great all year round. You can create so many looks with it. And I love how they included this beautiful peaches and cream transition color. You guys can kind of like see the shade up close. It's not going to focus, but thought I'd let you see the color. It's beautiful. If you guys would like to see a review on this palette, please just let me know and I will get that cooking. Next, I have some 9pan palettes from Too Faced as well. I have the Natural Matte and the Boudoir Eyes. I believe the Boudoir Eyes was the first I purchased. I used this for prom tutorial. I used it for a prom tutorial last year or year before. I don't know. I just don't get a lot of use out of this because a lot of them are shimmery. There's only like 2-3 matte shades out of a 9pan palette. So, ow! Fuck! And then next I have the Too Faced Natural Matte palette. This one I really love. I used to use this on an everyday basis at the beginning of the year. This palette is absolutely beautiful. This shade Nudie at the bottom is a really good contouring shade if you have some fair skin. And you can just create so many like blown out smoky looks with this palette. Also from Too Faced, I have some of their chocolate bar palettes. I have the Semi-Sweet, which I've talked about before. This was the first high-end palette I kind of purchased for myself. The colors, they're okay. I find, like, now that I've obviously received other palettes, I have tried out different eyeshadows. The Too Faced Chocolate Bar palettes are kind of like lackluster to me. I don't really love them as much as I used to. So I have the Semi-Sweet and then just the regular chocolate bar. But if I had to choose between the two, I really like the original a lot more than this one. I find that these colors aren't as pigmented. The only thing I really love about these palettes is the names, like peanut butter, caramel, mousse, nougat, truffle, hot fudge, coconut cream. Like, these shades turn me on. Salted caramel, hazelnut, creme brulee, hot chocolate, milk chocolate, amaretto, triple fudge. But like, I don't get much use out of these palettes is what I'm saying, because you guys see how much I use other palettes now. I don't get much use out of these. I still love them and want to keep them in my collection just in case I want to do like a throwback Thursday. Thank you, Jackie. Then lastly, out of like the 10 palettes, I have the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I've used this in tutorials before, which I will link down below. And the only color in the Sweet Peach palette that I absolutely enjoy is White Peach. That color is amazing. Ow! Then lastly from Too Faced, I have the Power of Makeup by Nikki Tutorials palette. I still haven't gotten rid of this. You guys know, if you've watched my last palette collection video, you know I didn't really like this that much. It is a collector's item, so I am going to keep it in my collection and hopefully try and use it up a little bit more, because every time I see it, I'm like, I really want to do a look with this, but I never like get the chance because there's other palettes that I like using a little bit more. From L'Oreal, I have La Palette Nude Intense. This is just what it looks like. It's kind of like a really nice smoky palette with some plum tones and stuff. If I'm honest, I've never used this before. I've had someone else use it before me, but I really want to use this. Then here I also have the Sephora and Pantone Universe Color of the Year palette. I really like the colors in this palette. They're beautiful. The only thing I had to complain about was that they didn't have names, which I find was fine. Like, but when I first got the palette, I was a little bit pissed. So what I did is I had to take the box, cut it up, and put it on the back. So I had the shade names. It just makes it a lot easier, because since I do YouTube videos, if I ever want to like leave the shade name somewhere or like say it in a voiceover, I'll have them on the back here. So it's kind of nice to know. A lot of the neutral colors I find perform the best. Then this was one of my favorite palettes for the longest time, and I still really love it. It's the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette. This is absolutely phenomenal. I want to pick up the deluxe edition. And just these eyeshadows are phenomenal. I use this for my prom, and it's just, it looks so good on the eyes. It blends really well. It's really buttery and stays on all day long. Now we're getting into some more BH Cosmetics palettes. I have the Galaxy Chic palette. I like this because it has a bunch of baked eyeshadows. And also from BH Cosmetics, I have their foundation and concealer palette. I like this because if I'm doing makeup on someone else, I have this. It's also really nice because I'm super pale and a lot of foundations like don't match me properly, so this is nice if I don't have that or I'm running low. I have the Comfort Zone palette. It just looks like this. This is a staple. This is absolutely amazing. It comes from the drugstore, really good quality, and this color is very similar to Pigeon from the Venus 2 palette, but like literally the exact same. It's a dupe. Okay, everyone talks about this. It's so amazing. And I did have a purple one, but I didn't like that one. It's not that great. This one is so much better. Then I have some other palettes from Urban Decay as well. I have the Urban Decay Vice Lipstick palette. It has 12 lipstick shades from the Vice lipstick line. We have a variety of like nudes, some crazy colors, some neons, some pink shimmers, some reds. You basically get anything you kind of like think of in this palette. It's really good, and especially if you're a makeup artist, this is a really good palette to invest in. Also from Urban Decay, I have the Deluxe Shadow Box that is Ancient. I don't use it. Like, I literally won't use this. I have it for keepsake just because this was my first ever, like, technically high-end makeup palette. I paid $11 for this in, like, 2010 or something, and I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, I finally have expensive makeup! And this is everything. Like, I love this palette, and although I won't use it because the colors are obviously expired and they don't perform as well as they usually do, this is just a really nice reminder to have of like when I actually started getting into makeup. Then from NYX, I have a Pro Lip Cream palette. This is the Plums. and it just looks like this. They're really beautiful, especially with winter coming up. I'm super excited to wear these. They're so beautiful, and I just love plum colors around like Thanksgiving and winter, so fucking hype. Oh, this is my last palette. The last palette I have here is the Makeup Forever Artist Shadow Palette, and this is the Florals edition. It just looks like this. I bought this on the sales section of Sephora, and it is pretty good. The only thing I have to say about this is that you definitely need a palette to work in tandem with this. The majority of this palette is literally like shimmers and like metallics and stuff. You don't really get much matte colors in here, which kind of sucks, but you do get some really nice pops of color, which is beautiful. I love this palette, especially this blue color. This blue color right here is honestly like the reason I bought this palette. Like, you're joking. What? Like, when I got it, I was like, yeah, it can't be that good. It's $30, but then I got it and I was like, who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you guys like me, please make sure to subscribe down below, that button, the little red one. And if you guys really like me, please make sure to click the little bell so you can get notifications whenever I post a video. It's becoming a little bit more consistent lately, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.